Hello everyone, welcome to NintenDormant, the podcast where we discuss Nintendo games that have been left on the shelf. I'm your host George Banks, and joining me for today's episode we have John Cartwright. John, hello.
Hello. I recently found Grand Theft Auto for the Game Boy Advance today.
Just knocking about.
I don't know
your
what
office.
it is. Is it a port? I found it in CEX. Is it a port of the first one? Is it a different game? I don't know.
Is it top down? It must be top down like the originals, right?
It must be.
Yeah,
top
it must
down.
be top down.
Yeah.
It must be top down.
Maybe it's.
Who needs GTA 6?
I would have thought, if I was to just take a guess, I would have said it was a port of the first game. But who knows?
But Game Boy and Game Boy Color both had ports too. So I don't know
they?
if they'd go out there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there's GBC GTAs.
Oh, okay. We were doing an introduction, and this has become all about Grand Theft Auto. I'm just going to introduce Josh. Hi, Josh. Josh Goldie joining John. How are you, Josh?
Hi, George. I have not found GTA for the Game Boy Advance, unfortunately.
Well, it's quite fitting that John just hijacked your intro into the episode, as that's something you're doing out on the mean streets of where would it even be? It's not
probably Liberty City, I guess.
Liberty City, yeah.
I've got to boot. There's so many unanswered questions. What is it? Where does it take place? I've got to boot it up and find out. But
Could be an adaptation of Grand Theft Auto London, and then it's on the streets of London.
That would be very cool.
Could be.
You could just play it while we're doing this episode if you want. Just give us a little running commentary, sort of aside your pitches and
just
stuff.
During one of your pitches, I'll just be at the side going, "Oh yeah,
Just
this is
Blam,
top
blam,
down."
blam. Did you could you we're not going to cover Grand Theft Auto on this podcast, obviously. But do you think it could ever possibly go back to its roots and re-emerge as a top-down experience?
Chinatown Wars did, and that was
that was on the DS though.
That was a long time. That must be about 15 years ago, Chinatown?
it's around the time that 4 came out. That was like 2008, 2009.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Flippin' heck. That was a
Just
great game.
Nearly 2 decades ago.
It was a great game, really great game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to sort of kind of encapsulate the madness of playing the first 2 looking down, and then when 3 came out and you just went, what the hell? Because it was, people talk about the jump for Mario, but that was kind of similar, I think, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
After GTA, like, everything changed. I don't know why this is a GTA podcast now, but
know.
everything did change after 3 came out. That's just the catalyst for what all games would be from there on.
Are you guys excited for 6, even though it's been pushed back?
To be entirely honest, not really, but I've only ever been a big fan of GTA from the messing around in the sandbox using cheats and stuff. Like I've not even played GTA 5. So
okay, fair enough. I mean, it's feeling as hot as Vice City up in the studio at the moment, so I'm sort of I'm ready for the beach. How about you, Johnny? Is it a day oneer for you?
Yeah, I'm in on it. I'm not like a huge GTA megahead, but I've played all of them. But yeah, 6, I mean, it looks great. We haven't really seen any gameplay of it, but the actual, the visuals, the presentation, it's all like
it does look great.
Games don't look like that, do they? And
No.
then here comes Rockstar. With just whatever magic they've put into this.
I think they get a pass on not showing gameplay just to show like the incredible world that they're making. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean, I did play Grand Theft Auto, but the thing for me at university was Saints Row 2, which is obviously like the sort of comedy Grand Theft Auto spin-off. I don't know why, but we got so deep into the game, and it was sort of dissertation time. And there were 4 of us, 5 of us living in the house, but 4 of us playing. I don't think the game was turned off for about 2 weeks. It was just you'd play. And then somebody would be like, oh, I've finished doing some writing. You go, okay, bang. And sort of like give it to them. And you go to the petrol station next door and get, a bottle of Coke and some super noodles and then just sort of write your dissertation. Somebody else would jump on. It was ridiculous. But yes, deep love for Saints Row 2. But unfortunately, I feel like the series has lost its way. Have you guys ever played it?
Yeah, after 2, nothing really felt like that.
3 was fine. And then 4 was bad.
I miss Bully. Where's Bully 2?
Bully was one I liked. But I was a much
game.
bigger fan of Bully than I was of the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
Also great. Yeah, I really liked Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
I've not played the second one.
Oh, sorry,
I thought the original Red Dead Revolver either.
I thought you meant you preferred Bully over Red Dead. I was like, that's a big swing. I don't think you'll find many people that say that.
I've never really compared the two of them together,
Yeah.
and I just know I preferred playing Bully than I did to Grand Theft Auto. So
That's fair. I think I think Josh is the only person who's pulled the Rockstar card on this podcast so far. I think for Duck Hunt. No, what did you use it for?
No, Mac Rider.
For Mac Rider.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
that would be a very good game. Yeah, no, Rockstar, I love them. I am excited for GTA 6. I don't know what I'll play it on. Oh, what's it coming
Switch
to?
That's
2,
all-
the
that's-
secret
yeah,
Switch
Switch
2
2.
version.
The secret Switch 2 version is going to run just the same as how we saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
you
it's
just
not
have to wait
advertised.
another 7 years.
Yeah.
That's it.
It'll be on Switch 3 as a launch title,
Yeah.
obviously.
You've got to
Like-
whisper it to the guy behind the checkout at Smith's.
That's what I've heard.
They don't talk about it otherwise. You have to really be really quick about it, really silent.
Are we talking Smiths with a Y or WH? Where's that? I need the details here, John.
Let's say WH.
Classic WH
yeah.
Smith. Do you know what? I was about to explain to anybody listening outside of this country what WH Smiths is. Nobody cares. Yes, GTA 6 is a game I'm sure we're all going to be excited to play, with the exception of Josh. But we are going to play another little game right now. Yes, it's time for the NintenDormant Quickfire quiz. 2 rounds, fastest finger first, followed by play or pass for double points. And as always, the guests will choose their buzzers. Who's going to give me it first today? Is it going to be you, John? You, Josh? Who's got one loaded up?
I'll go first this time.
Go on.
I'll go first this time. As we know, Mario Paint has a whole plethora of funny sounds.
It does.
So I want the classic baby noise.
Excellent. Are we talking? So we're talking classic baby noise, not future baby noise. I don't know if they're identical because there's obviously.
Is that in Mario Maker? Is that for future baby noise?
Yeah, the future baby noise from Mario Maker. I'm glad to say you haven't answered a question before the quiz, which I think has now happened twice. So don't worry. I would be definitely steering you away from this were that the case.
I mean the one from the original Mario Paint, not the future baby noise, which I guess would just be a grown-up noise at that point.
Well, that's true.
So
yeah, that's true. Okay, that's just banjo. I will get you the classic baby from Mario Paint. That is no problem. John, are you going to go for another little noise, or are you going to go for something different?
Can I have a line from Cousin Roman from GTA 4 of your choosing? It could be, hey cousin, want to go bowling? It could be that. Or it could be whatever you want.
Excellent. Yes, I mean, if you hadn't noticed from our chat at the start of the episode, this episode is of course about Mario Paint. I feel like the two games are sort of closely knit, right? You think Mario Paint, you think GTA. Where would one be without the other? Can you
just wait till the pictures, George?
Goodness me, we're in for a treat. Okay. That's no problem. I can source some A Cousin Roman for you, and we'll crack on with the quiz. So, fingers on buzzers, please, chaps. Question 1. Okay. Mario Paint comes with a larger SNES box to house the included mouse, but what colour?
Gods, Roman, let's go,
John.
He's buzzed. What other peripheral
He's buzzed.
In the mouse mat? I'm gonna say it's grey. Is the colour grey?
Oh, the colour is not grey. Josh, I wonder if you can guess the colour without me finishing the question. I'll give you the whole question. I'll give you a free pass. Just a guess.
Okay, just a guess.
Just a guess.
Blue?
Cousin Roman.
I'll give you the whole question. Mario Paint comes with a larger box to house the mouse. What colour are the mouse's buttons?
They're would you say it's violet?
Yeah.
Like a light
lilac? Specific. I would have just said purple.
Oh, just saying purple. Okay.
It's just American Super Nintendo button colour.
Yes, exactly.
It's the Nintendo Super Nintendo colour.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct shade. It's more of a lilac. No, purple is fine. Yes, you 100% get a point for purple, Josh. Oh my god! What did you say? Violet. You said violet.
I said violet, and then I was like, "Oh, that's a bit too dark, actually."
Yeah. There we go.
Take the point away.
Yeah, it's only half a point for Josh. God, Josh,
no.
I love you so much. You're so specific about things. It's excellent. Right, 1 point to Josh. Purple buttons. Here we go. Question 2. Mario is covered in paint on the front box, but what colour is the splodge on his hat?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's tight.
Ooh.
That's Josh who's buzzed in first. What are you going with, Josh?
Is it orange?
Oh, it's not orange. It's not.
I feel like it's yellow, right?
It's yellow, John.
Yes!
I was hoping my yellow T-shirt would be a subtle hint. I've also got. I mean, this is the. We'll talk about its influence on Mario Maker later, but I got this lovely T-shirt here, Mario Maker T-shirt, when I pre-ordered the game. I think through the Nintendo store. But yes,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I must have that shirt as well somewhere.
Yeah, I look.
Well, what is orange but a darker yellow? Am I right?
True. I think I should get a half point for that.
Now, let's give you one whole point. I believe orange wasn't a colour, right? Until only if obviously it was a colour.
I don't know. I think
orange didn't exist till the 1600s. No, I think orange wasn't called orange until like a few hundred years ago. It was just red. It was just a shade of red. That might be nonsense. I'm not sure, but
it could be true. But I do think Mario Paint came out within the last 100 years.
That's true. And they called it dark red. No, or light red. Yes, I'm going to fact check that. But there's something that's either a QI question, which I've horribly misunderstood, or it's in there from something. Anyway, well done, John.
Anyway.
1 point to you. He has a yellow splodge.
Thank you.
So, question 3. Mario Paint features an interactive title screen, including a bomb that detonates after clicking the O. But what song plays after the explosion?
Let's go,
John. Josh is grimacing. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah,
classic.
Yeah.
Can anybody give me a little rendition of it? Yes, he even left the gap in.
Sometimes there's more of a gap than other gaps.
Yeah.
Other times, they got different versions of it.
That is the bassiest version of that song I have ever heard in my life. It felt like if Louis Armstrong was doing it. That's excellent. My kid's got a little, like a tiny little, xylophone with their little metal bars, and the bars are just not quite the right notes, and it plays the song perfectly. You can play it absolutely perfect. I posted it on BlueSky ages ago. I'll repost it with this episode. But I was tinkering around with it, and I played like the first notes. I went dim, brum, ba bum. I went no. I'm giving myself a thumbs up. Yes. So every time it drives my wife nuts. But every time I get that xylophone out, I'm trying to teach my kids to attack a song
to play it.
Right, 2 points to 1. Well done, John. Question 4. Fastest fingers first, please. Mario Paint features a mini-game for some downtime that made a comeback in future Nintendo titles.
He's got it.
He's right in there. Go on, Josh.
It's the Fly Swatter minigame.
Oh,
Josh,
no.
It's not the answer. I mean, it is, but it's not the answer. You might have buzzed in too soon. Oh, well, hang on. What is that, John? So you can take the point for this. What is the name of that minigame?
I just want to repeat what Josh said.
It's got an official.
I know what it is. I just remembered it.
Have you got it, John? You've got the opportunity.
They're not flies, are they? They're
I don't know, John. Well, I do know, but I'm not going to tell you.
It's Gnat Attack. Is that it?
It's Gnat Attack.
Damn it.
You got it. Oh, hubris. Josh, you buzzed in too early.
I was racking my brains like, fly swatter?
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, I'm impressed you've pulled that out of your brain, because I just, obviously looking up quiz questions, I had no idea that it was called, I completely forgot it was called Gnat Attack. I don't know
There's
if
a
it's
lot
actually...
of dusty old doors that aren't open very much.
Yeah, it's one of those, I don't know if it's actually referenced anywhere. It's one of those things that's probably just written down in a manual somewhere.
Must be said somewhere. Like, I think it has a title screen, like the minigame. I want to say it does.
I remember it popping up in Mario Maker, but I can't remember.
I feel like there's a WarioWare micro game that says like Gnat Attack before it starts.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, maybe that is it actually.
Oh, what a great mini game as well, Gnat Attack. Yeah. Just absolutely brilliant. Like with the mouse, clack clack clack, and then it came back on the Yeah, because you could play it. You could play it on the DS. There's definitely a game, because I remember sort of going all over the screen. So yeah, classic.
It could be a WarioWare game.
It must
be.
The
two are very close.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. It's a weirdly sort of iconic tiny Nintendo game within a game. Great game. 3 points to 1. Last question of Fastest Finger First. Here we go. Mario Maker features a mode where you can create little images by colouring a square in pixel by pixel. But what is the name of these images as displayed above them on screen? So what are these things called that you create?
In Mario Maker. Sorry.
Oh, in Mario Paint. Did I say Mario Maker? Mario
I think
Paint.
you did, yeah.
Fluffed
You
it.
did, yeah.
It's been a while since I fluffed the quiz. That's a nice little callback there. Yes, in Mario Paint, you can create little images by colouring a square pixel by pixel. What is the name of those little things you create?
I don't remember.
Now, this is, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
don't know if
relatively
they have a
obscure.
name.
I mean, you might be able to hazard a guess as to what they are.
I'll take a guess.
Go on.
Okay.
Are they called like bits?
No, not bits.
No.
So,
I'm
less,
going to curse for a moment there.
sort of more. Are they called? No, I'll leave that out.
Well, this is a family-friendly.
Yeah.
You're always telling me to
I know.
put it down.
I can put the baby sound effect over that. It would be fine. Think less like I was going to say less specific, but maybe it's more specific. You can do something with them. He's not got it.
I haven't got it.
It's little. I can give you multiple choice. All right, I'm going to reset the buzzer. Ready?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, that's
Reset
gonna
the buzzer, and we'll do
Alright.
multiple choice. So, are they called flicker stickers? Are they called snippy clips? Or are they called special stamps? It's Josh.
These special stamps.
Yeah, they're special stamps.
Yeah.
I was
The-
hoping it was
okay.
called Snippy Clips.
I know, because it would be such a great callback, right? That's why I thought I've got to do something to throw some of you off. But yes, they're just. I thought that would be. I thought that might be one that was sort of stuck in your head because it's. I hope I'm remembering this right, but I feel like when you create those stamps, you can use them on the images. You can sort of place the stamps around.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So yes, you can make your own little gallery of special stamps in the game. Obviously not as memorable as I thought. But after the end of Fastest Finger First, that's 3 points to John, 2 points to Josh. So John,
This has never happened before.
Yeah.
has this... No, you must have come first at the end of a Fastest Finger First.
I don't remember. Maybe I am.
Well, I'll get the league table up soon. Right, that means you are first for the next round. Here we go. So Mario Paint is known for its music maker, and though you can create quite complex tracks, you are limited to a certain number of notes per beat. How many notes is that? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
I feel like you get 2.
Josh gets the point. I'm sorry.
Darn it.
Yeah,
What was...
it's 3. You can place 3 notes on a beat.
Three.
Yeah. So you can have a little. I suppose you have a little.
How about that, huh?
My music knowledge is so bad now. I used to play piano, but nothing's in there anymore. Yes. Have you ever created music in the game? Have you ever sort of placed?
Oh,
placed 3 notes on
definitely.
there? Yeah.
It's been a long
Definitely
time.
when I was
but
playing.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Fair. We'll get into that when we get into the thing. But yes, 3 notes per beat. All right, Josh, your question. He's tied it up. It's 3-3. Here we go. You can pull away with this one. So, the music creator also features different icons to indicate different sounds that you can use, including one Nintendo console. Name that console. Is it the Game Boy, the SNES, or the NES?
Oh.
We remember the baby. We've talked about the baby.
True.
But what's
true.
the baby
Rub my
playing
hands
with?
together to show pressure and confidence.
So this is his presidential tactics. Is that what you do in the boardroom? Just rub your hands like you're...
So I'm pretty sure it's the Game Boy.
Ah,
Damn it.
Yeah. Like I'm just casting my mind back, and I'm like, I don't think the NES would have like worked as a little icon.
Is it the GameCube?
Yeah, it could be.
Future console?
Could be in a future one.
It was the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the SNES and the NES would look a bit rubbish because if it was just head on, it would just kind of be like this. The Game Boy is a perfect little sort of icon for that kind of thing.
Yes.
I can't remember. It's kind of like a sort of, I think like a sort of wave sound when you put the Game Boy down, just like a boop, but I can't quite remember. Anyway, who knows? All right, 5 points to 3. Are you ready? So, here we go. So we're heading back to the box now. What is Mario painting on the cover of the box? Is it a painting of a pathway through some trees? Is it the painting of Peach's castle? Or is it a painting of Yoshi running along some grass?
So Peach's castle wasn't really established by the Super Nintendo, was it? So it's not that one.
I don't know.
I feel like
in the original game.
I remember there being a big sun in the painting, which could be either A or C,
or B. There's not
Castle's
an
only at
absence
night.
of the sun near castles. They sort of go, oh, I won't go there.
I'm gonna say it was from what I remember. There's green. There's a sun. I think there's a path. So path with trees, right?
A path going through some trees. Very good. Yes, a very generic picture on the front of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little.
Didn't remember Yoshi on there, so
Yeah,
Well, he doesn't claim to be an artist yet. That's the N64 where he claims to be an artist. This is just a painter.
true. He's just a painter now.
Oh, that's true. A little brick pathway through some trees in the sun, and weird, like a tube of paint is squirting out not brick-colored paint, but like a blob of paint that looks like bricks. It's very weird.
That's not how paint
Not
works.
how paint works. It's a very
No.
confusing mess. I mean, I love the cover of the box, but it's confusing. It's a mess. All right, that's 5 points to 5. Josh, this is to wrap up the quiz. So here we go. Play or pass. Oh, I nearly gave away the answer because I've not written the question down. Here we go.
Yoshi.
There are. All right, here we go. So we've talked about the music player and the different notes that you can use. But how many different instrument types are there? Are there 10? Are there 15? Or are there 20?
I'm gonna pass.
Oh no!
You were so confident with the Game Boy, John, as well. But now you've got to pull all of them out of your head.
Now you got to pull them all out.
Oh, okay.
10,
So
15, or
what were
20.
the options again?
So 10, 15, or 20 different instrument types that you can use on the Music Maker. I'm so
I don't feel
jealous.
like it's as few as 10.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's as much as 20, so I guess I'm going in the middle. 15.
John, he's nailed it! Hey, 15, you've done it! You've run away with the quiz. It was a dangerous pass, but yes, 15 instruments. We'll list them out a little bit later on, obviously. But yes, including the baby, the dog, the plane, the heart, the star. Lots of iconic ones there. But yes, 15 instruments that you can use to create music. Well done. Well done.
Nice. Well done.
That means at the end of the quiz, Josh has 5 points, but this week's winner is John with 7. Hooray!
Hey.
Well done.
Ooh.
The Mario...
I've not been on a very good roll the last few episodes I've been on, have I?
You're fine. You're just in a slump. You'll get there, champ. So yes, John is the Van Gogh of this quiz. Well done, John. And it means you'll be going first as we move into the main event. So yes, the game we are talking about today is of course Mario Paint. A quick history lesson for those who don't know. Mario Paint was released in 1992 as a response to parents' demand of more edutainment from the mainstream console market. Developed by R&D1, Intelligent Systems and Jupiter Core, with some of Nintendo's most famous names behind it, the game sought to teach children digital creator skills via use of the bundled-in mouse, painting and animation studio, and music creator. A sequel was released for the ill-fated 64DD, but with sales so small it never caught on in the same way as its predecessor, despite dipping its toe into creating 3D visuals. Nevertheless, the original remains a cult classic, with creations using its software still widely shared today, particularly the music mode. And with the Switch 2 coming with its own mouse, fans have been speculating that we might at long last see its triumphant return. So guys, what's your experience with Mario Paint? Have you ever played the game? Have you ever used a SNES mouse yourself? With its classic lilac buttons?
Yeah, I own one. I didn't buy it new when it came out, but I have a distinct memory of finding it at like a car boot sale or something, and just like immediately being like, "That's an SNES mouse. That's a mouse for the Super Nintendo. What the heck?"
So hang on, you saw the mouse by itself, or was it the whole game?
No, it came with Mario Paint as well.
Right.
It was like, it didn't come with the box. It was like plastic wrapped.
Yeah.
And there was Mario Paint and the mouse, and maybe there was a mouse pad, but if there was, I think I've lost it. I used to use a Super Nintendo.
It came with a plastic grey mouse pad.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even know that. Looking into it, wow. Okay, all right, okay,
yeah.
right.
So, like, I don't think I have that because what I do have is a Super Nintendo carry case, and I used to just use that as the mouse thing. So I found it at a charity shop, picked it up because it was Mario.
Yeah.
And I used to play it a lot actually.
Nice.
I used to mess around on the title screen. I used to mainly color in that one image that because it gives you a bunch of pre-done images, and there's the one of Yoshi and Mario from Super Mario One. I used to color that in a lot.
Yeah, nice.
I remember, and stick on the stamps everywhere.
I would be special stamps, as we all know now.
Special stamps, yes.
I would be alarmed if you bought it when it came out. Were you born when it came out in '92?
When did it come out? Oh, 92. No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't born. I was a full 5 years old at the time. Yes, so all right, you've experienced it. That's amazing. I can't believe you found it. It's actually, funnily enough, not that expensive because it sold really well, right? It sold, I think, upward of 2 million. It's a very high-selling SNES game. So you can find them if you look on eBay. Less than 30 quid, 20 quid, sometimes as much sort of 10 or 15 if you're lucky. How about you, John? Have you ever had a sort of hands-on experience with the game?
Yeah, my wife sometimes gets me risky presents.
Oh,
I have a lot of
I love
games.
that. Yes.
And so every now and then she just buys a game. And it's like, I don't think you have this.
Oh.
Every now and then it's a miss, but sometimes, in the case of Mario Paint, I didn't have it. And this was like 5 years ago.
That's amazing.
Nice.
What's just quick sidebar? What's like the best miss?
The best miss, as in what game I've already got. That was this last Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh no, my last birthday actually, like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
She got me Sonic Shuffle for the Dreamcast.
Nice.
I've got
amazing.
I've got the American version of it. The PAL version's worth more than the American version.
Okay.
But it's still a game I've already got.
It's the same game. I've had my wife absolutely nailed it last Christmas. She bought me, again, even though I already owned the game, but she bought me a boxed copy of Mario Tennis for the Virtual Boy with the Japanese box.
Nice.
I was like, okay, this is incredible. Anyway, yes. So sidetrack. Let's get back on topic. So yes, you were gifted Mario Paint. That's excellent.
Yeah. Big box version has the grey plastic mat, has the mouse in there.
The iconic mat that we all know about.
The iconic mat. It's hard as anything. You can reuse it for your Joy-Con if you want to.
Excellent.
Yeah. But I had a good time with it, though. I didn't grow up with it, so I guess I didn't experiment with it as much as some people who played it as a kid did. But the music editor's surprisingly robust for what it is.
Yeah.
You can do 3 at a time.
Yes. Again, as we all know, 3 at a time. It is a really, it's an amazing sort of piece of software. I think it's interesting because, it's doing things. I would say that it's doing things that weren't really around at the time. Obviously, Microsoft Paint was around, so it's kind of mimicking that in the way you can use the mouse. But in terms of the music creator, I can't imagine something like that was sort of widely available.
Yeah, there was probably something archaic on PCs at the time because I think they just kind of was for everything. But like in terms of like the console space or video games in general, there definitely wasn't anything like the Music Maker. Or the artist section of it. Like I don't think any other system had a mouse with it.
Yeah,
I know there are some consoles out there with really funky controls.
Yeah, right.
probably one that has a trackball or something somewhere.
Yeah,
but I don't think they would have had art studios on them.
No.
Yeah.
And I mean, particularly the sort of ease of use for the Music Maker, right? It's really easy to use. I think I've mentioned maybe once or twice on the podcast, but I develop games for the Playdate, and that's the Music Maker that it's got for that is really sort of handy, and there's 4 channels and 4 different instruments you can use, but it feels like this is just Mario Paint, but sort of a more grown-up version. It kind of feels like it's sort of set the template for easy access music creation for this kind of format, for chip tunes and stuff like that. Did you dabble much with the Music Maker, Josh, when you were younger?
Yeah, I definitely messed around with the Music Maker. That's how I remember the Baby Noise and the Game Boy and stuff like that. Like, I'm not a musician. Music's probably the art I'm the worst at,
right?
But I definitely fiddled around with it and just made whatever sort of sound I thought might have sounded good. I probably also just did one where I put just the same sound 3 times on every single bar.
Nice.
And just
music,
listen
baby.
to the mess.
Yeah. I go to live music and I go, this is just Mario Paint.
Yeah.
It's just instruments.
I can visualize it. I'm going to quickly run through the instruments here. So let's be honest and let's see how many we actually remember. Right. So there is
Mushroom and fire flower.
There is
Mushroom, fire flower, star.
Okay.
Game Boy.
This is not. We're doing
Doggy.
another quiz now. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, baby. Go on.
Baby. Airplane.
Hang on. Wait. Stop. Somebody needs to keep count because I can't do both.
Okay, so
I'm keeping.
Mushroom,
I'm
fire
on
flower,
7.
star.
Yep.
Game
Yeah.
Boy.
Yep.
Game
Baby.
Boy.
Baby.
Dog.
Dog.
Airplane.
Yep.
Yeah. Cat and airplane.
Airplane.
Yeah. It's all
Yep.
right. Is there like lips or something? Like or a kiss or?
Not that I can see.
Okay. I'm trying to think if is there eye? An eye?
Is there eye? Again, no, not that I can see here.
What noise does an eye make?
I don't know. It's a sort of weird thing. Oh, there's other animals. Isn't there? There's a pig.
There is a pig.
There's a pig,
Yeah.
Guys, I can't help but feel like you're missing maybe the most obvious one.
I was thinking. When I meant lips, I was thinking of heart.
Yes.
Is it just a
Heart.
Mario?
There's a
There's a
heart.
Mario.
Mario
It's
one.
Mario
Yeah.
Paint. Yes,
Oh,
Mario.
okay.
Yes.
Oh, there's Yoshi as well.
No, there's not. Not that I can see here.
Is there not?
Oh no, there is. There's Baby
Oh.
Yoshi. Baby Yoshi. Yes, there's Baby Yoshi.
Yeah, there we go.
You're missing
Swan. We haven't said Swan.
Swan.
No, we haven't said swan.
I think you're missing one. I think you're missing, or maybe
I think
two.
there's other vehicles. Isn't
Yes,
there?
so
there's
we've had
airplane.
plane. They're missing 2
Oh, there's
vehicles. and
boats.
that's it.
There's a boat.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm guessing there must be a car as well.
Oh my God, you two. Well done.
Hey.
So yes, I'm going to run through it. We've got another little quiz. Mario is the piano. Super Mushroom is a drum. Fireflower is a horn. Star is a xylophone. Baby Yoshi is just the Yoshi sound effect, I guess, from Super Mario World. Game Boy is an 8-bit sound sine wave. Dog is a woof. Cat is a meow. Pig is a grunt. Not an oink, just a generic grunt. Face is baby sound. So apparently it's not a baby, it's a face, but face is baby sound.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a baby's
It's a
face.
baby's. It's fine. It hasn't specified on the wiki that it's baby's face.
Okay.
Boat is a different style of drum. Plane is an acoustic guitar. Heart is the sort of bass. Swan is a string hit, apparently. And car is organ, which seems like a weird choice, but there we go. Yes, they're the instruments. I mean, everybody, has seen creators using Mario Paint to recreate famous tracks online. Is there any that you've seen that you're a sort of particular fan of?
Oh, I haven't listened to a Mario Paint.
It's been they were
sound
like
in
really
a very
popular
long time.
in like
Yeah,
2006, weren't they?
Yeah, they were super popular on point. It's been forever since I've listened to one, I think.
I wish
I
I could
remember hearing the Mario Galaxy theme we done in Mario Paint.
Oh,
That
that's
was really cool.
excellent. That's great. I wish I could remember the creator. If I can find them, I'll tag it. But the sort of Mega Man 2 Mega Mix from Smash
Yeah.
Brothers. That is such a good one. Yeah, no, it's great. And the applications of it. There's also the animation studio. So the thing about Mario Paint, with it being on console, is that the memory is really limited, right? So you can only save one creation at a time. We'll touch on that. But you could create either a very big picture, which I think had 4 frames. You could do like 4 frames of animation, then a medium-sized picture, which was maybe 6, and then like a teeny tiny one, which was maybe 9 or 10 frames. I'm not entirely sure. But I loved that. I love teaching you, sort of almost again without teaching you that you have limitations based on the size of things you're creating, right? It's kind of a fundamental part of game design. So you had to think, okay, well, what do I want this picture to do? How do I want it to look? And, you could do a huge Link sitting on a big rock like Breath of the Wild with 4 frames and just have his hair sort of wafting for 4 frames. Or you could have a teeny animation of him, running with his sword. That is something. So I've never owned it. I have played it, but I found the animation quite tricky. John, did you ever give it a crack, sort of, as you came to it later on, or is it not something?
It's been a while. I think that was the trickiest element. Yeah, because the music maker's quite. They just give you a regular editor with easy to use symbols.
Yes,
drawing's pretty easy, but animation's probably the rockiest bit.
It's rough. Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I don't really think I ever did the animation. Like, I'm sure I probably did look at it at some point, but my little baby mind just did not comprehend how to make moving images.
It just went,
and so I just abandoned it. I just I made the noise and then I went back to the sound thing and put a bunch of babies down.
But this is it, and it was a great tool for that. But I think really its legacy is kind of the Music Maker. That's the thing people weirdly remember it for, even though it was a sort of painting application. In terms of it being created as a sort of answer to edutainment for children, do you think it kind of achieved that? I think from all accounts it kind of appeased parents in that respect. But yeah, do you see it as something as like an actual valuable learning tool for that time?
I think so, because like the legacy of it is obviously lasted, especially the Music Maker. And like the people who are going to be into Mario Paint music, making the custom ones, almost certainly must have started with the actual Mario Paint to even sort of be aware of it in the first place. And like the fundamentals, like you can learn the fundamentals of how to draw well on Microsoft Paint if you know what you're doing. There's a really great video from VineSource where he's watching Bob Ross and using Microsoft Paint to draw, and it comes out shockingly well. Like he's expecting it to be really bad, but it actually, as it comes on, he's like, "Wait a minute!" And
my God.
Yeah, and you could do this. The same thing can probably happen in Mario Paint. If you actually had an art tutorial in front of you and you were just copying it, you'd probably be able to make a pretty decent pixel image. So there's probably quite a few people who got inspired by it to follow the arts. So I would think
how many musicians just would not have found their way if not for Mario Paint. Like Ariana Grande was there.
Taylor Swift, I've heard, she's a big Mario head. Yeah. That's why she did that song. I don't know any Taylor Swift. I'm sure I know some. I just can't think of a title off the top of my head because I'm old. There's got to be a song of hers that you can use as a Mario pun name. Come on, guys. You're the youths on this podcast.
I'm not sure this is the crowd.
I'm not sure. I'm afraid I'm not a Swiftie.
How about Wario Shake It Off? I think that's
as good as we're going to get.
That's as good as it's going to get. If you're here for Mario and Taylor Swift sort of cross content, that's all we can do for you. I apologise. I watched a lot of videos, obviously in preparation for today, and so many digital creators just saying, actually, this was my entrance into kind of digital creation. Making art in a sort of digital platform, creating music, and thinking to myself, oh, I can do this. It doesn't just have to be a pen and a piece of paper. I can create digital pictures. I can make things move in a sort of digital field. And now when you've got iPads and pens and all that kind of stuff, and you can just doodle away, it seems quite archaic to sort of have to scribble down with a mouse. But actually, I think the thrill of creating something like that and having the ability to just magically colour in your pictures in the early 90s on a Nintendo was incredible. Really gripped people. We mentioned Nat Attack very briefly. And it's funny because, you sort of think of it now as just like a charming side game. But actually, again, back in the early 90s, maybe not many people had experience with a mouse. And it just teaches you how to use a mouse. You have to use the mouse to move the swatter and click the buttons. It's actually, again, one of those brilliant things that is teaching you without teaching you,
So I almost want to put money on it that Welcome Tour, the Switch 2 game, will have a mini game that is Nat Attack.
100%.
Probably.
Yeah, 100%. If
it will be there.
It is somewhat common for the youth of today to not use computers. My mum was a teaching assistant. She's retired now. But there were kids who couldn't do Windows file formatting.
No way.
They don't know how to navigate Windows because they've been growing up on smartphones and tablets. Yeah,
that's nuts. Oh gosh, I hadn't even thought about it. Of course. Why would you click a button and hold it down to move something? But I suppose you're doing that with your finger, though, right? So it's sort of you kind of get that translation. Yeah. Get the Mario Paint, John. Get it back into schools. That's
what we've got to do.
That's the solution. Yeah. I've said that. That's actually not a bad idea. But yes, so I think it was a nice sort of barrier for entry for that kind of new world back in the 90s. I touched on it super briefly. I think I mentioned it in the quiz. maybe I didn't, but there was a sequel developed for the 64DD.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah,
maybe it's mentioned in the history bit, but that's obviously the Nintendo 64DD. I've never played one. I wish I had one. Very limited console, sold very poorly. It's a shame because it had some interesting experiences on it, and I think there was something about Mario Paint was planned to have like lots of installments on it, but basically they did a few and then it kind of wound down. I don't suppose you guys.
You mean on the 64DD one or the original Mario Paint?
I think on the DD one.
Yeah, Mario Artist.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So there's 4 Mario Artist games.
That's it. Yes.
There is Paint, which I think is the first one. Then there's Talent Studio, which is like the weird Me Maker one where you can make a custom avatar and put on. Well, then there's Polygon Studio as the last one. So Polygon Studio lets you make your own 3D models,
right?
And you can mess around with them. But then Talent Studio is basically a really early version of like the Me Maker, where you can make your own custom avatar using the in-game assets and then put on like fake movies and stuff. It was basically a movie studio.
Josh,
and then
I owe you an apology because I was going to put this in the quiz and I thought, it's too hard. It's too hard. They're never going to know this. And of course, Josh knows what each installment of Mario Paint 64DD was. Yes.
Shout-outs to Luigi Blood. He's the guy. He's the guy who knows everything about Mario Artist, and it's through him I know all this.
Well, have you? So I assume you haven't experienced it. You're just sort of aware of it.
No. I know there is an English translation again. Thank you to Luigi Blood for the 4 games. Communications kit. I'm not entirely sure what it does. I think it's like I know it's online. I know it's got online capabilities, but that's all I know because I think they're interconnected, right?
Yes.
So I think like the character you make in Talent Studio, you can then send to Polygon Studio to use in films, and then the communication kit lets you upload stuff to Radnets Online so that other people can download it, something like that. Excellent. Oh man, old internet is just so good. I know there was things like they included like all the images of there's like Banjo-Kazooie that you can use, and I think there's sort of sprite art maybe of all 151 original Pokemon. I think it was a genuinely exciting evolution of what Mario Paint was, and the idea of sort of creating your own 3D models, amazing, but it just didn't have the chance to have that audience. It's such a shame that I mean I can't imagine ever experience. Do you think Roxy might pick it up for you, John, one day if you win the lottery?
I hope so. I hope that she bought Mario Paint and was planning to get the follow-ups.
Right.
But yeah, it's just out of reach.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yes, I believe there were meant to be 12 installments and there were only 4, but that might be. I might have got that wrong. And as you mentioned, Josh, the plan to sort of share those things online. Something really charming about the original game is because you could only save one creation, is they basically said, hey, record it onto your VHS, and then you can send it off and share it with people and create something new, which I love. I love the idea. And people did do it. People, hooked up their SNES would have been hooked up to the telly, but, put in a VHS tape, hit record, and just like played their tunes, and would have had that as their kind of creation to free up more space. It's awesome.
Where does society go? Everyone had a capture card.
Yeah,
in the 90s and 80s.
Why did we put up these walls, damn it? Yes, I think I've got the entirety. I don't know if I can get in trouble for this, but I think I've got the entirety of Dragon Ball Z on VHSs somewhere in the attic, just from recording it like a nutcase on Cartoon Network as a kid. So yeah, it's a game that did teach kids computer skills, and it's got a great legacy. It's such a shame that it didn't sort of carry on. And Nintendo's dabbled in art things as the Art Studio series, but it's never quite. I think it's never quite. Mario Paint was quite whimsical, right? And you've got that kind of follow through in Mario Maker. So, as I mentioned, you've got the sort of t-shirt here. But I think the font they use for the games is the same. It started as a sort of sequel to Mario Paint, and then they thought, oh no, it's too much fun to create, so we want to extend that into creating worlds and levels. And I think you can really feel that DNA when you play the game, right? Particularly with all the things like the baby and the dog and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's got quite an enduring legacy, but fortunately for us, we're going to bring it back because John won the quiz. So John is the new president of Nintendo, but we are the board and we demand that you bring back Mario Paint and you make it a success. So please, Mr. President, tell us, how do you plan to do it?
Okay. So President John walks up to the podium, pulls out his phone, and starts swiping. Complete silence for a few minutes. Throws his phone across the room. Boring! Dull! Repetitive! He was watching TikTok. And every talk he ticked, it was lacking creativity. Mm-hmm. Everyone was using repetitive sounds. Everyone was using music that wasn't theirs. No one was creating anything. Mm-hmm. He says.
So angry, this president. Just chill out. It's a board meeting.
Just 5 minutes on TikTok does this to him.
Hello, HR. Yeah, I've got a real problem with the way my boss speaks to me.
And then he gets a scroll, unravels the scroll. Ugh. Mario Paint TikTok edition.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is a Switch 2 game. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. And what the use for this is you get to export your Mario Paint creations and import them into TikTok, where you can then apply your sounds you've created. You can put your images into your talks that you ticked.
Okay.
Little animations in there. And we are going to combine our efforts from previous Nintendo IP, because Mario Paint it's somewhat lived on. We've had Art Academy. We've had other drawing applications in there. Flipnote Studios, kind of the animation thing. So we're going to bring the DNA of those two back while leaning on the music creator. Because people may not understand what music is, but they understand what a fire flower is. So we're going to basically bring back the pillars of Mario Paint, create a specific Nintendo Switch 2 eShop game, and we're going to modernize Mario Paint. So you can still draw stuff with the versatility of the Super Nintendo game. Get a little bit more specific with Art Academy's, you get different brushes, you get different pencils and things. The Music Maker, we're pretty much leaving untouched. We're going to maybe make it a bit more expansive. And then the actual animation tool is basically going to be Flipnote. But then everything you make gets to live on through a social media. No more screaming at your phone. If you don't like something, you don't have to go, you can just change that and import your favorite Mario creations. Though I hear you, though. I don't like TikTok. That's fine. You can use this as a standalone Nintendo Switch 2 game. You can use the screenshot function and the video recording function. And you can do anything you want with these. You can plug in a VHS and take a picture. You can...
It's coming back!
You can post them on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever you want. You can, if you're having a wedding, you can make some music in Mario Paint for the Switch 2 and then play it through, you connect the headphone jack and play it through that.
And then get your marriage annulled the next day because you played a Mario Paint song for my beautiful bride. But
you basically see this as two different applications. There's the standalone Switch 2 Mario Paint, a proper sequel to the Super Nintendo game. More stuff, same attitude. And then you can export it into your social stuff. That is the pitch.
Right.
No more screaming at your phone. Mario Paint, Nintendo Switch 2. Ship it.
Very good. This is a real insight into John's sort of daily life, where he's just walking around his house going, at his phone. I don't know. John, man, just relax. It's fine. It's just social media. It's cool.
You can just swipe.
You can put it down. Okay. So, I mean, are we calling it Mario Paint TikTok Edition? Is that the title we're going with for this?
No.
Okay, good.
We're gonna call it Mario Paint for Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay. I'm going to just cross out that title and add a new one. Mario Paint for Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, lovely.
So, obviously, with TikTok, it's not just about the music. It's also about the footage. Are we allowing people to connect their Nintendo Switch 2 cameras and film themselves and then edit it in Mario Paint?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. The president has calmed. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That is a good idea, though. Yeah. There's a few things you can do with that. You can sketch if you want to, so you can take a picture of someone and then sketch around their face and trace it in.
Very nice.
So you can practice your drawing skills on a real-life model, or you can create your own animations using stop motion. So you can, for example, take a picture like this, and the next picture's like this, and then keep going like that. Or make little Lego animations or Amiibo animations, whatever you want, using the camera. Yeah.
All right, so we say this is nice. So we're saying like it's almost a full animation sort of.
It's a full suite. It's a music suite. It's a art suite. It's an animation suite. It's a social media suite. It's everything you need.
Now, Mr. President, what safety things have you put in place to make sure people don't share lewd content on our family-friendly device?
We're watching.
Cool. Yep. Just
We're always watching.
so let's say it sells 6 million. How many employees are we bringing on to watch every single creation?
So here's the thing: you're not always going to be monitored because that's impossible.
Right.
But every now and then you'll get a little window of a Nintendo employee in the top of your screen just peering in. And if they catch you, then they've got you.
I don't think people want this. Can you imagine if you're just playing on your Switch and all of a sudden you just get that?
Just a little man. Just making sure. Just making sure.
And then he just goes, carry on. Yeah, and then just boom, out he goes.
Just imagining game chat popping up on its own.
Yeah.
It's just Miyamoto.
Yeah, it's Miyamoto. And he just looks over and says like, it's good work. Thank you.
The friction system.
No, I think he'd be happy. He'd see you drawing a little Fox McCloud and be like, I made him. And then just disappear off to another console.
That's copyright infringement, he would say.
Yeah.
Cease and desist.
Get your own characters, damn it. Okay, so like we're looking at animation, creating music, like easy upload for social media. Are we going to see? Obviously, we've got a mouse in the box with Switch 2. Are we going to see any sort of return of mouse mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can, mouse mode is going to be the core input for this.
Right.
You can use the touchscreen as well, but we feel like you get more versatility with the mouse, especially for drawing things.
Okay. All right. Fair. Josh, any questions?
So, if we're doing the TikTok thing, right? TikToks are always videos that are in a stupid aspect ratio.
Correct. Yeah.
So, if this is designed for that, does that mean you can only create content in the stupid aspect ratio?
No, it doesn't mean that. So you'll get two options when you get your canvas up. You either get horizontal or stupid. And you can have whatever you want. We're going to have a few more than that, actually. We're going to have a whole suite of A's. You get A3, A4, A1, or as Americans call them, I think they just say like...
legal... and
illegal.
I mean, I wish we had an American with us for this episode. A quick sidebar in here. So I don't know if it's one of these. I don't know if Americans know this, but basically all the paper here is standard size, right? And all the envelopes are standard size. So like A4 is the size of paper. A3, weirdly, even though it's a smaller number, is like 2 A4 pieces of paper. Yeah. A2 is 2 A3s. Etc., etc., and like A5 is half of an A4, etc., etc. So everything is like standardized, but Americans have like 50 different types of envelope for different letters and papers. I don't know how anyone gets anything done in terms of like post there.
Yeah, they can't function. It can't be done.
It can't be done.
But we are going to have multiple ways to put your things in there. You can scan a QR code from your phone on your Switch 2. And you can import your special stamps, so you can put them all over your little TikTok video.
Good.
Get your music in there, and if you want to, you can just put everything that you've imported, or if everything you've made, you can import it onto your phone and make that your TikTok. You can just talk your Do they say talk? I'm going to talk this.
You say
you tuck your damn ticks however you like. Yeah.
You can take your like Flipnote little things and make that your TikTok.
Okay, so my question then is like, how much is there in the way of like limitation? You know, is the music mode limited to sort of breed that creativity, or can you put 10 notes on the same beat? Can you have 100 different instruments? How much are you like expanding the scope of it, or are you going to keep it sort of quite reined in and contained so it's not overwhelming for people new to creation?
Simple mode and advanced mode. That's what we're going to have. You open it up. Simple mode is basically the Super Nintendo one. You get 3 little things you can put in at once.
Very nice.
You're limited. Advanced mode, though, you're going to go all out there. This is for the big boys. We're still going to have the symbols. It's still going to be charming, but you will have far more flexibility, and you can create anything. And we're going to, if someone uses it to make a hit song, we're going to sue them.
You're going to take some of that sweet cash.
If someone recreates any song from Nintendo Music,
incredible.
Delete it.
I can't think of any more questions from me. I mean, I guess the last question for me is who's developing it for you?
I'm pretty sure the Art Academy studio is gone now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
A good question. I don't actually know.
I think the last game was that Disney one on the 3DS.
Yeah, Headstrong Games. Yeah, they went defunct in
that's a
2017.
Oh no.
So actually, they are kind of around still. They got Kuju Entertainment was their like parent company, and they just kind of got absorbed into it.
Right.
And they still make games. Well, they were. I mean, the last game they made was 2019, so who knows? But they apparently still make games.
Well, I think we'll keep it in-house. The same team that did Game Builder Garage. They're going to take this on.
Oh,
Nice. What's the team? Do we know the specific team for that?
It's one of the EPD groups, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, one of the EPD groups.
All right. Any questions for John from you, Josh?
Is Nat Attack back?
Burning question.
Yeah, Nat Attack is back. There's also a new version where a Nintendog keeps putting its paw out. You've got to shake it as quick as you can.
So hang on. So you're swatting gnats, but then a little paw comes out and you have to be like, oh,
Yeah,
and then carry on
correct.
swatting.
Yep.
What happens
Shake,
if you swat the paw?
Oh, prison.
Prison.
Nintendo come to your house.
We watched you through the console and we saw you hitting the small doggy's paw. Get in the van. I think parents might have an issue with that. All right, we've got the return of Nat Attack 2. Any more questions, Josh?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, Josh, you are now the president of Nintendo, but we are still the board, and we still demand that you bring back Mario Paint. So please tell us, how would you plan to do it?
All right, I get up to the stage.
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
another screaming boss. Here we go. How angry is this one?
No, this one is chill. This one is calm. You see, Mario Maker, it called back to the Mario Paint series, and that was great and all, but it wasn't any of the same team, right? It wasn't any of the same creative force behind Mario Paint. It was looking to capture that, but it didn't have the same feeling behind it. And a big reason for that is because the guy who made Mario Paint, Hirofumi Matsuoka, one of the goats at Nintendo, he doesn't work there anymore. He left in 2003. He went to Creatures Inc. He unfortunately works on Poker Park and Detective Pikachu. But he did do the Pokemon TCG app that just came out.
I like the first Detective
Nintendo
Pikachu.
shaming.
It's this person who left. He's dead to us.
But in the past,
Right.
his stuff was solid.
Right.
He went from
It's really slamming him, right?
He did Mario Paint. He did Wario Land 4.
Yeah.
He did WarioWare Inc.
Okay.
Like he's the guy who made all of them, directed all of them, and so I want to celebrate his legacy, bring him back in for this. So forget Mario, he's old hack. We're going for Wario Paint. It's Wario's time to be an artist.
Excellent.
We're gonna be expanding it all out. You are the setting. You are an underpaid artist by Wario. He pays you in exposure, and you must. You can draw whatever you want. You can make whatever music you want. But there will be some tutorials. We're going to teach people how to paint here as well. So we're going to get a bit of that Art Academy in. It's going to be Wario. He's going to be giving you commissions, and you'll be able to draw garlic. You'll be asked to draw Wario as handsome as possible.
Excellent.
And some of his friends from WarioWare will be there. I'm sure Ashley will ask you to draw food. Jimmy T will want you to draw different sports. We'll teach you how to do the various things using the cast of WarioWare. You can have a draw-off with Wario with his amazing Wario Gold artwork that he draws in that game. When you scan an amiibo, perfect stuff. So the whole thing's going to be there, and we'll have a proper suite for the paints. various different paints. We'll have a color wheel where you can pick your own ones. You can we'll bring stamps back. You'll be able to stamp Wario's face wherever you want it to be. His nose can go wherever. We're going to have layers. We're going to bring layers into it because that's a key part of the modern arts suite nowadays. The music maker's back. We're going to have we're going to expand it out. The idea, basic and advanced, is pretty good. I like that. I'm going to steal that idea. So we're going to have that.
Pretty
We'll expand the amount of instruments though, and of course there'll be great Wario instruments. You'll be able to make fart noises.
Good.
You'll be able to make wah noises. You'll be able to make the sound of someone picking their nose. Perfect. Everything you'd ever want.
Okay. I've got a burning. I'm going to let you finish, but I've got a burning question.
Okay. And of course, because it's part of Wario Land 4, and I mean, if you've ever listened to the music in that game. If you ever got the sound feature in that game, there's a lot of weird stuff in that game. We're going to bring it all in.
Excellent.
We're going to bring it all back.
We'll have some of that. Okay. Anything to add before we get to the questions?
It's basically a full-on Adobe suite in a game that's Wario branded.
I feel like this is a bit of a pivot, but okay, go, carry on.
No. What I mean by that is that I want to make it so intense that people are going to stop using Adobe and start using Wario Paint to do all of their editing.
I hope so.
Do all of their drawing, do all of their art. And then you upload it to the NSO app, and you can post it onto social media.
Excellent.
You can post it onto BlueSky, TikTok, wherever you want it to be.
All right.
And everyone can be like, I made this with Wario.
Excellent. Okay. John, if you don't mind me jumping in, I've got two questions right off the bat.
Go ahead.
First, so it feels like this is more of like a game at its core, right? So there's more like, are you earning money as like by doing these commissions and things? Is there like a game at the core of this?
Whatever little pittance Wario will give you.
Okay.
Whatever.
But what I mean by that is, like, if he's doing his commissions and things, are you like trying to achieve something or an ending or trying to buy something? You know,
so
what's the point of the commissions?
It's really just a fancy way to say we're going to teach you how to draw.
Okay, fair.
Basically.
So,
like, there's going to be a free mode, and then there's the story mode.
Okay.
Where the Wario characters will ask you to draw things and then rate the quality of your drawing based on some fancy AI will program.
Based on this.
Excellent.
So you said earlier Wario pays you an exposure. In the story mode, will you have like a social media page where your followers go up based on Wario's commissions?
Yes. He's going to build up to a big art museum, so you've got to build up that social media following to get people to come to the art museum.
Incredible.
And so when you've done a photo and you give it, Wario will upload it onto his social media platform.
What's the name of that platform?
And sometimes he'll tag you.
What's the platform, Josh? It's got to have a name.
Wawok.
Wow. Okay, excellent. My other burning question was, if we're leading into Wario with the music, can you please tell me at least 5 new sounds that is going to feature on that music mode? I mean, we've had wah and fart and nose pick, but can you give me another 5? I mean, we know that you're experienced in the sort of lore of Wario noises, so you must have some lined up.
Of course. So, yes, we're going to have more Wario noises. We're going to have noises from WarioWare as well.
Okay.
Going to have the Pyororo sound that Pyororo makes.
Excellent.
We're going to have we're going to have Jimmy T with his mobile phone. It's going to ring.
Excellent.
We're going to have that.
Any classic Nintendo sounds from 9-volt, perhaps?
Yes. We're going to have the sound of like the Game Boy just made a sort of weird wave. We're actually going to have the game like the boot up sounds.
Yes.
The classic boot up sounds.
May I suggest Wario's juicy buttocks for a bass drum? Like a butt
just
stomp?
a slap.
Like a butt stomp.
Just a slap. No, it's a sand.
Like a little hand coming, just going.
Just vibrates.
Okay. I am on board with so much of this. John, any questions for Josh?
Yeah. So you say you want this to replace the Adobe Suite.
Yeah,
It's ambitious up there.
Adobe's a subscription. Wario Paint, though, if this is to replace Adobe, you've got to value it quite well, right? So, is this one of those elusive $80 games, or is this a subscription? What is it? How do you get this?
So it's just a one-time buy.
Oh, nice.
Just a one-time buy, and I think that's all you need because nobody likes subscriptions.
No.
Nobody likes the subscriptions.
How much is the one-time buy though? How much are we paying for this?
I don't know. I think I think we can just make it a regular $70 game. I don't think it needs to be super expensive. Now, maybe in the future we'll release video editing DLC, and that will add an extra $20 to it, a full-on video suite. But the point is, the easiest way to replace Adobe is just to make something that's not stupid and subscription-based.
You should
and that's all you
make
need.
a mandate that if a movie or TV show is edited in Wario Paint, it has to say edited using Wario. So like Avatar 3,
excellent.
It's going to have a little corner on the poster with Wario
just says made in Wario in the corner.
Oh dear.
Every film that uses it has to have at least a thing at the beginning where Wario just is there on screen.
Incredible.
This is it. Nintendo's getting their IPs wherever they can.
Oh my god! Can you? I'm sorry. Can you just pause for a second and just imagine Avatar 3, and then like you've got this like huge sweeping vista with the aliens, and then some music starts playing, but in the middle of the music you just hear "Hua." Like just a really like emotional bit. I love you. Ha! Boom. That'd be so good.
Wonderful.
It's written in that he has to have a cameo in every film that's edited in this software. All right. Are we seeing? You asked about Nat Attack for John's pitch. Are we seeing a return of Nat Attack 2?
Yeah. But instead of them being flies, there'll be little Wario noses with the mustache that like flies around instead.
Excellent. John, any more questions?
I think this is pretty clear. It's super ambitious. It's going to replace all editing on PCs and make the Switch 2 the go-to platform for multimedia.
Excellent.
It's true.
Now, I've got a question. So you mentioned about the video software being DLC, but of course that was, loosely, but already a feature of the original Mario Paint. It might only have been 9 frames, but you had animation. Do you not maybe fear some backlash from people saying, like, well, hang on, you're withholding things that were in the original game?
No. Animation will be here. Don't worry about that. Animation will still be here. What I'm saying is, like, actual full-on video editing software. That's like another level between just drawing a simple 10-frame animation to having an entire sequence and video transition effects and everything. There's a lot there. And, Wario can only get people to make so much in one sitting.
On the Switch Online app, you can take your videos from your phone and PC and put them onto the Nintendo Cloud, where you can access them on the Switch too.
Nice. Yeah. And who's developing this for you?
It's going to be Intelligent Systems. We played them. We didn't tell them what we were going to use it for. It's going to be made by Intelligent Systems with Creatures Inc. Assisting.
Okay, all right, nice. Any Pokemon cameos?
If the Pokemon Company will allow it.
All right.
Might have to be DLC.
Fair. Incredible. All right, so Wario... I love the idea of Wario Paint. There's got to be something that makes it... So you've got like Nat Attack with Wario's noses. Mwah, absolutely excellent. What's a new feature? So we've it's obviously a lot of returning features. What's are you going to introduce anything brand new to the series as well?
Well, I'd say the tutorial stuff is pretty brand new. The thing is, like, I don't know if I necessarily want to overcrowd it because, like, what would be great is like using what you make in there to make like WarioWare DIY style mini games. Like that feels like a pretty natural follow-on to this theme, but I almost wonder if that might be too much.
Fair.
Like, maybe then it does become an $80 game.
I feel like Wario should have his own office with lots of just AI art framed on the walls. That
No, get out.
No, not even Wario goes for AI art. He just doesn't pay his artist. That's different.
He's a man of morals.
He is.
Yeah.
The Trump playbook. Excellent. All right, I love this pitch. We're low on time, so I'm going to chuck in a quick third pitch before we round up. So yes, here's my pitch. Mine is now the mouse being included in the original Mario Paint was a big deal. A lovely little peripheral. Obviously, we've got mouse twos. We've got mice in the box with Switch 2. So included in the box with Mario Paint Portfolio. That's the name. You get the NintenDo, which is a smart pen in the box. Right, so I want it to be all about customization for your Switch and your Switch games. So, the Switch 2 has a touchscreen, I think. I'm hoping that's right, because a lot of this is based on that.
I think it does.
It does, right. So, and like, never really used it. Used it a lot for Wii U. Didn't really use it for Switch and Switch 2. This is going to use that. And it's a proper art studio where you have the things, you have all the things where you can colour things in like you did before. And that teaches you about layering, Josh. We mentioned, you colour in a layer and then you put another layer on top. You layer that up and you sort of make these vibrant pictures. You've got a stamp creator where you can colour in pixels. So you learn about pixel art. You can make small animations. The Music Maker is back, of course, in largely the same way. I'm going to have the Music Maker be through different eras of Mario. So you've kind of got the sounds from SNES Mario and N64 Mario and kind of modern Mario. So you can change it up in that kind of way that Mario Maker does with the styles on the side. But the big thing about the game, right, is that it's all touchscreen. You've got like a full color wheel and you can just properly create with it and have tutorials to do that. But it's all about customizing your Switch 2 and your experience. So these stamps that you make, you can place them on your home screen on your Switch 2. So everybody wants themes for the Switch 2. Everybody's talking about it. But with this, you can customize it however you like. So whatever you want on the home screen, you can stick it on there. You can also take videos you've recorded from games and you can draw on them. So you get 30-second clips you can record on your Switch when you hold down the button. You take those, you can import them into the game. And while Kirby's running around in Forgotten Land, if you want to, you can draw a big wobbly Mario moustache onto him and animate it as he runs. What you can do is you can take a picture of your face, and if you're using game chat, you could draw something which then maps to your face. So you could draw just a big, lovely, big round Mario nose for yourself, tell it to stick on here on your face, and then when you're playing your games, doesn't matter where you go, you'll just have a big Mario nose on your face. So it's about experiencing kind of the applications of digital art, teaching those things. Nat Attack's back there, but this time we're dual wielding the mice with Nat Attack. So it's called like Nat Attack Tap or something like that. I don't know. But you've got the two mice, so it gets harder and harder, and you can sort of swat with two. Or maybe, no, do you know what we're going to see instead? We're seeing the return of Stanley with his bug spray from Donkey Kong. So you've got the gnats and you've got the toucans. Yes, we're bringing him back from the dead.
Just for this.
No, Stanley the bug spray guy from Donkey Kong 3. I think it's Donkey Kong 3.
Yeah, it's Donkey Kong 3, yeah.
And instead of the swats, you've got the sprays. Not very environmental, but it's fine. And you're moving the cans around to take down all the bugs. And that's it. I think I want it to be developed by a plucky new sort of team internally, people that want to sort of shoot their shot with a Mario title. But it's all about customization and using your stamps and your art to bring things to life on your Switch. And there's also going to be a return of Miiverse to share it, but it's going to be called Sweeverse instead to share your creations.
Wait, so this is a brand new system-wide feature?
Brand new system-wide internal social media called Sweeverse.
Made for this.
Sweeverse. And I did think about having two classic SNES mice that you could plug onto the side of your Switch 2, but I don't think that would sell very well. Joy-Con 2 style SNES mice. It might limit what you can do gameplay-wise. Can you imagine a Switch 2 though with just two SNES mice on the side? It would be incredible. But that's my pitch. Mario Paint Portfolio. Any questions for me from the board?
You said mine was ambitious. So I have a few. First one, you said about using it on Kirby and stuff. Are there any restrictions to what games you can use it on?
I think you can't use it if you record. I don't know. I was thinking about this, and I don't know if when you're doing game chat on your thing, if you're going to be able to record other people's faces. I imagine you're probably not, because that would be like a safety thing, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I think as long as it's recording a game on your Switch, you can take that and add something to it. There might be certain titles that you can't and certain titles that you can. But yeah, I think you've got quite a lot of free reign to share silly things that you've created from your footage. Because I love making videos on my Switch, but what do I do with them? They just sit on my Switch. I don't sit there and watch them. It'd be great to have an application to do something with them.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that answers my second question then, because from the way you said your pitch, it made it sound like you were doing this like in real time.
Oh God,
like,
no!
One hand I'm playing Kirby, and then the other hand I'm drawing a mustache.
You're drawing at 60 frames per second. Oh my God! No.
And I was like, how? What?
No. So you access your saved videos in the game and go like, oh, I want to take this video. I want to take Link lifting up the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild, but I want to add massive googly eyes onto him. Just stupid stuff that you can do.
I see.
And we'll also, of course, have the people looking in from Nintendo to make sure you're not drawing, a big phallus on Link while he's lifting it up. John, any questions from yourself?
Yeah. So this businessman stands up and he goes, I want to sculpt! Why wouldn't you let me sculpt? And he takes a Joy-Con in one hand, a Joy-Con in another, and tries to show you, I want to sculpt! I want to take some clay and sculpt it with these Joy-Con!
I mean,
says, why won't you let him do that?
It's not a bad idea. Maybe DLC. I think if you can take the two mice and sort of, I mean, and obviously we'll have to buy the rights to the song from Ghost, so we can have it playing while people are doing the clay. But yeah, I think there could be some sort of sculpting mode. I think if the game's a hit, we'll think about a sequel, because I think the big thing is the Nintendo. I think people are going to love the Nintendo. It's a less expensive Smart Pen, which does all the things a Smart Pen does.
Well, something none of us have really spoken about is like using both Joy-Con in tandem. Like it could be co-op drawing, it could be sculpting, or it could be
angry businessman sculpting. You'd think he'd be chill. If he's a sculptor, you think he'd be a relaxed businessman. He's got a nice hobby.
He likes destroying things.
Yeah,
right. That's his favourite part, sculpting.
It gets the stress out.
And I love the idea that it's open to all sorts of people of all sorts of abilities, teaching kids digital art. I've sort of come into the world of it, making the thumbnails for this podcast, but I love it, and I would love the idea of being able to create it on your Nintendo. And maybe for my kids playing, each month, they send a new kind of black and white picture that you can just drag and colour in. So there's something sort of coming out for children. Angry sculpting, I'll think about it. For a sequel, we'll think about it. You can make a sort of bust of Princess Peach or something. We'll do something. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do an actual wheel. So instead of the Nintendo, you've got like a throwing wheel to do some pottery that you plug into your Switch. I think that would work. That would be fine.
It's the whole pottery thing you get.
That was 100%. Any final questions for me?
Do you want to yell at him too?
So
yelled every time.
We talked about music. We talked about being able to edit videos. You can make themes, and you're saying you can make stamps. But are the stamps part of the theme, or is this a separate thing, like Nintendo Badge Arcade, where you have all the different badges as well?
I think all of that. Like if you want to create a new icon for something on your home screen, create it, stick it on there. If you want to just have stickers and stamps all over as you're scrolling through, stick them on there. If you want to make a background for your Switch 2, make one. I think it's all about customizing your Switch 2 to be a personal experience, and that's what makes it your Mario Paint portfolio. It's your little portfolio that you're displaying to the world.
Very nice.
We are out of time, so that's it. 3 pitches to bring back Mario Paint. But did you like John's Mario Paint for Nintendo Switch 2? An eShop Switch 2 game that allows quick uploading to social media, to share, and most importantly, to create. With an emphasis on music, other Nintendo influences are present too, from Art Academy to Flipnote, an animation suite at its core. This game is developed in-house. Or do you like Josh's Wario Paint? A celebration of one of Nintendo's legendary developers, gameplay sees you earning money through commissions, including portraits of Garlic, handsome Wario pictures, and members of his WarioWare team. Expanding on the original with Wario flares here and there, this Adobe replacement is developed by Intelligent Systems. That's so ridiculous. Or do you like my internally developed Nintendo-driven Mario Paint portfolio, focused on sharing and customization to make your Switch 2 just the way you like it? Or do you have a better idea yourself? Let us know in the comments below. While you're there, please do like and subscribe. It will help us to grow. You can find us all over on BlueSky. I'll put links in the description. But in the meantime, John, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you. And thank you to Grand Theft Auto for the Game Boy Advance for making the time to be here.
Thank you.
I'm really glad that has bookended this Mario Paint chat. Josh, thank you very much for joining us too.
Thank you. Down with Adobe.
Down with Adobe. We're gonna sink their ship with Wario as well. Not even Mario, just with that.
They're not gonna see it coming.
This is very true. He's got a ship. We'll be fine. Yes, thank you very much for being here and for listening. But for now, that's game over. Goodbye.